was brought up in a non-Christian family here in Cranbrook. My mom and dad are loving and supportive, and they've always been a great example for my sister and I. They taught us the value of a loving family, of good friendships, and they set an example of hard work and generosity. I met Joe after I graduated from X-ray school. I had just moved to Calgary, and we met and clicked and fell in love, and we shared a lot of the same values, and we also saw the same vision for our future together. But Joe was also a Christian. It was important for him to attend church. I agreed to attend with him, with his understanding that I may never become a believer. I struggled with church in the beginning. I didn't want to give up my Sunday mornings. I didn't want to give our money to the church, but I especially struggled with not having proof in my life that God existed. I needed a clear sign, an undeniable sign that God was real to believe. So for years, I attended church with Joe without being a believer. I enjoyed Sunday messages, and regardless of scripture within them, I still found it relevant to my daily life. And we even got to the point where we hosted a connection group within our home weekly. I found value in the friendships that we made in our small group, and I also believed in what the church was doing as a whole. But I was still stuck on why I needed to believe in Jesus. I knew I could be a good person without being a Christian. After my second son was born, I joined a group of ladies that met weekly for a program called Prism. And every week, these women would share stories of their struggles and their strength. And I would be in awe of their unwavering faith in God and their ability to trust in God's will. One evening, I was feeling tired and overwhelmed. And as a mom of 2 young kids at home, some days everything felt like a struggle. I realized I needed hope. And I needed faith in God's plan for my life. In that moment, I needed something more than what I could control. So within the circle of women that I had grown to trust, I was led through a prayer of salvation. And in January of 2012, 10 years after I first began attending church, I gave my life to Christ. At the point I chose to be baptized, I believed based on the faith that others had shared with me. However, it wasn't until Joe and I's marriage hit an ultimate low that I would truly recognize what God could do in my life. We reached out to friends within the church for help, and they made themselves available to us and loved us through our struggles. We were counseled to see God both as an individual and as a couple. And as we became closer to God, we became closer to each other. I'm still a work in progress, and Joe and I still have our ups and downs. And most days, parenting still makes me crazy, but I have hope in God's plan for my life. And as I connect personally with God, I recognize more and more around me of how He's working. And more often than not, it's in the people that surround me that I realize the proof of God's existence.